Hey everybody! So this part, where I say some critiques on the right. There was when it comes to safe spaces, there's always the people who are, and there's sort of this tie with safe spaces as a kind of a background with the idea of a social justice warrior and the concept of being a social justice warrior, which means that, getting out there and calling out people who say things that, might be considered unsavory or offend people's sensibilities, or even going so far as some people use the term triggered, trigger words or things like that, where people will use certain terminologies and certain things that individuals within those subcultures find extremely demeaning, basically nouns, like the N-word or the C-word or something like that. Words that you have to actually put letters with word at the end of them in order to talk about them. There's words are so bad. They're so vile. They're so disgusting. And even I'm not brave enough to use them in full verbiage, but there are individuals who are. Good job, guys. I don't know, but that whole line of freedom of speech and things like that always fall within these things. Now, Trump's election. Some people are very anti-social justice where it's like, we need to be candid, we need to be pointed, we need to say what we want to say without the fear of having the whole world come in and wring our neck for saying things that are controversial. And I can empathize with such things. And I could also empathize when people such as the Amazing Atheist or that Socrates guy, I have no idea who his YouTube channel guy who had that smug frog dude throughout the entire thing. I listened to both of y'all, alright? And I hear what you're saying. Like, yeah, now that Trump's elected, maybe we could stop pussyfooting around, to use your kind of words. We could stop, kowtowing and trying to go, well, we're special, and, our safe spaces, and get out there and actually do something, actually, do and get out there and do things and stop trying to please everyone and stuff like that. Just say what we want to say about the world as it is, bluntly, without fear of having little individuals go, wee! And Donald Trump was going to be your hero. He was going to be the one that led this world into being a brave new world where we could say what we want to say. Because look, this guy could say what he wanted to say and get elected, and we won't have to worry about all this special spaces and all this stuff. Yeah, it's the death of the social justice warrior movement. It's the death of these safe spaces and safe words and yeah. So yeah, it's great. Something happened this weekend. So not to take the wind out of your sails, guys. I see what you're saying there. I see that you're celebrating, but it's not that simple. Donald Trump is not going to be your anti-social justice warrior, anti-safe space candidate that you want him to be. Because he proved that very much this weekend. So what happened was his vice presidential buddy, friend chummy chum man, who is not Chris Christie, because apparently Chris Christie, and I figured, and we learned this later on, was his son, Donald Trump's son-in-law, had political backlash against Chris Christie. And everyone was like, well, they wanted to pay Mike Pence because of the Bridgegate thing. I no longer think that's the case. I think it's because his son-in-law's like, dude, I do not want Chris Christie running with my father-in-law. You got to find someone. Find anybody. Find anyone. Who do you guys want to do? Oh, we'll do. This Mike Pence guy sounds pretty good. Hey, you know what? Let's pretend that the plane is broken down. We're gonna land there, and we're gonna go. Hey, man, Donald. I know my father-in-law. I know how he operates. I'm gonna schmooze him towards this guy, and this Chris Christie guy, he's gone because he prosecuted my father. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what happened. It's freaking weird. This is the weirdest thing I have ever seen in electoral politics. It is literally like Game of Thrones style crap going on in the White House right now. You can't, people who write fiction stories couldn't even get these things into place like this. This is, is the cosmos just bored with us? Are you guys bored with us up there? Do you want to make this the most weirdest, most disturbing election and probably going to be the most disturbing thing in the. I don't know, but it is freaking interesting. I hope it don't get too interesting for us little folks down here. Keep it interesting over there. Keep your interesting stuff over there. Please do not involve us in your interesting stuff. But what I'm saying is that I think Mike Pence got in there because his Donald Trump's son-in-law basically wanted to ostracize Christie and anything that he had to do with it from any sort of political power. The Bridgegate thing was just a good little smokescreen. I think it's far more personal. And so this is kind of how Mike Pence got into power. That being said, because I think Chris Christie might have been more closer to Donald Trump as far as values go. He wasn't as socially conservative. Fortunately from us, Mike Pence, and unfortunately from rumors as well, and this goes into another topic, is that Donald Trump is looking to just be a cheerleader in chief while his vice president runs everything. And that should worry a lot of people who are the GLBT community and a lot of people, because Mike Pence has a history of being really terrible when it comes to social liberties. So, that just being said, let's move on to the actual topic at hand. And this VP guy, this Mike Pence, went into the theater at Hamilton, and the cast of Hamilton looked to him and said, thank you for coming out. The audience started to boo him. All right, the audience started to boo him, and they're like, hey, no, let's say what we're gonna say here. Let's welcome him to the theater. And, they were like, let's chill out. We want to say something, and it's like we hope. Basically, the gist of what they said is that we hope our play for you has convinced you has inspired you to understand that you're our vice president and that you work for all of us, and hopefully you do work for all of us, and that you don't look upon they basically said what Dave Chappelle said on the Saturday Night Live was. It's like, to us socially disenfranchised, we welcome you. We'll give you an olive branch, but we hope that us, the historically disenfranchised, expect the same from you. We expect that you guys will treat us with respect and treat us with decency. That's basically what they said. So Donald Trump's reaction to this whole thing is he literally said, the theater must always be a safe and special place. The cast of Hamilton was very rude last night to a very good man, Mike Pence. Apologize. There's many things wrong with this tweet. First off, the word apologize. One who never apologizes should never ask for apology. That's just my theory about the whole thing. If somebody never ever is willing to give an apology, to apologize to anybody, if they are never willing to admit wrong or apologize to anybody, they should never demand apology. Because you cannot ask somebody what you are never willing to give in return. That's the art of the deal, Mr. Trump. You can't ask somebody to give you something which you never give to anybody. There's a lot of people you had to apologize for that you should have just apologized for. That Gold Star family, the Khans, Mexican, like the Mexican government. There's people that you should be apologizing to that you don't apologize to, and then you go around demanding other people for apologies. You're asking people to give something that you would never give, and to me, that's unacceptable. That no deal. I would say no deal to anyone who asks anyone to give something that they would never give in return. That's the art of the deal. Exchange. Hey, you apologize to the Khans, and I'll see what I could do about the Hamilton guys apologizing to you. All right? I have no power, but I'm just saying. You got to give, you got to take. You apologize to the Khan family? Maybe the people in the Hamilton thing apologize for doing what you didn't, for saying, well, that might not have been appropriate at that particular time. But you got to give to take, all right? So that's the first thing. But the thing that's more on topic and the thing that more revolves around this whole thing is The theater is always a safe and special place. The words safe and special place are the trigger words for the people who don't believe in trigger words. Everyone who's been supporting you ever since you got elected is like, yeah, now it's going to be like this whole special snowflake, special place thing is going to go away. Oh, it's never going to be, it's going to go the way of the dodo, and thank goodness for that. Nope. Now our government's using it. Now the government is a special snowflake that needs its special safe place, which it has a military to enforce. The safe space thing is to these guys, the safe space thing is annoying enough when individuals use it. Now you've got an entire government using the whole, I'm a special snowflake, you should apologize for hurting my feelings. Come on. So, to the Amazing Atheist and to the Socrates guy, who I have no idea who his name is, the guy who was using that weird Pepe and with a Socrates thing mixed, you got a lot of explaining to do here. You're going to have to backpedal a little bit and go, maybe this Donald Trump dude isn't the anti-social justice warrior, anti-special snowflake guy that I thought he was. Because he's using their very same words and stupidity. But then again, you can go, well, he's just trolling them and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, okay, well, whatever. Go on your high horse. But from what I'm seeing here, special snowflakes, still not happening. Sorry. But on top of that, and also, of course, I gotta indicate the irony of a president saying that a theater should always be a safe and special place. You have no, Mr. Trump. Do you have any idea of our history? You realize the theater has never been a particularly safe place for presidential candidates. Or for presidents in general in our country. I think George Washington even had an attempt on his life at a theater. And that was before a successful one on Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated in a theater. Obviously, everyone's brought that up. It's like... And another person brought up, and this one was funny, that Hamilton had a duel. Literally, Hamilton had a physical duel with a vice presidential candidate in our history. They had pistols at 10 paces. I think it was Hamilton and Alan Burr. You know, the stupid Got Milk commercial? Yeah, those two. They had a duel. They had a gun duel. Boing, bang, bang. All right? And now we have a vice presidential candidate and basically a presidential candidate whining that their vice president had words shot at them from the movie from the Hamilton play. So now we have it's maybe you guys are right. Maybe our country has become too coddled. Maybe we are too oh God, we got to be protected and oh God, our feelings. But it's not just us. It's not the individuals who are projecting it. It is our leadership. You have to think about things like leadership. If we want our people can only, if we are expected to live up to the expectations of our leaders, of the people in charge of things, and our leaders are saying stuff like this, that this is a safe space and the theater hurts our feelings. Sorry, the theater, as far as psychology goes, and as far as sociology goes, and as far as feelings go, the theater has never been a safe and special place. The theater, since the days of Shakespeare, has been this is how stupid we are, look at how stupid we are, and take some time to laugh at it, to cry at it, to feel your emotions running through your veins like a freaking human being. Feel the emotional impact that those in power have on those, and how powerless even those in power sometimes are to the fate of destiny. That is what the theater has always been and has always strived to be since the days of Shakespeare. It is not a safe and special place for your feelings. So, no. if you guys are going to say I think the Amazing Atheist and everyone else who is very anti-social justice warrior, anti-safe space, you need to demand that Donald Trump back down his words on this. Because here's the thing. This kind of behavior from our leadership is going to trickle down to the people. We could start demanding that everything that hurts our friends or colleagues' feelings, demand organizations apologize for it. Basically, this is where our behavior comes from. Because people in power do this all the time. It's not individuals who learned it that going, well, we need to do this safe space thing and get angry and demand that everyone do this. Because rich people and people in power do it all the time. They take critique and they take it too far and they get angry and they start punishing you politically, punishing you personally for being critical or asking you to be introverted and to look into yourself and to think about your actions for just a moment. And we shouldn't accept that as a society. I absolutely 100% agree with you. But you need to call it out, especially when the people up top are doing it. Not just when some little college group is doing it. Not when some young whippersnappers are doing it. When some 70-year-old man is doing the special snowflake thing from the presidential office, gotta call him out on it. And Mr. Trump, we are not special snowflakes. Yes, Mr. Donald Trump, you are a special snowflake, just like everyone else. All right? So, no apologies for what they did. Unless you apologize to the cons, unless you apologize to Muslim Americans who feel scared right now, unless you apologize to those people, then the Hamilton people aren't going to apologize. Let me make you a deal, Mr. Trump. You're a deal man, right? You run that presidential office in a way that makes gays, that makes Muslims, that makes black people, that makes white, even progressive white people go, you know what, I was wrong about that guy. And then, and only then, should we apologize to you for these kind of critiques. I will apologize to you once you prove me wrong. Once you've proven that you have earned my apology. Because you have to earn it. It's not a blank check. All right? But that's just my personal opinion on that. So that's part 2 of the Safe Spaces. So apparently the apple don't fall too far from the tree, whether you're on the right or the left. So we're going to have a conclusion. But if you didn't see my one for the left video, it's over here. But we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to have a conclusion, and I'll get to you on that. Kick that like, kick that subscribe, kick the comments. Thank you very much for watching this Roo Ramble. Have a good and safe day out there.